Brando, Steiger on the brake front.
You were finished. I bought you some steelwork. You had some stripper.
You just don't get it, do you, Charlie? I could have been someone. I could have been a mobilizer. I could have done faux. Should have been just a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it.
Look, take this. You're going to need it.
Unfinished Furniture Show, Part 2. I'm Ed Feldman.
And I'm Joe L'Erario.
They can't sue us. They're all dead.
This is the way we like to do a show, huh?
We're going to do a hall rack, and we're going to do this here roll top.
This here roll top.
What are we going to do first, Joe?
We're going to do the hall rack first, with a nice old English finish.
Oh, what joy. Another Unfinished Furniture Show. This is what we call an accent piece.
And since it will probably be standing by itself, we'd like to do an eye-catching two-tone finish so that it will draw attention to itself no matter where it stands.
Even in the lonely hallway. As always, remember to remove this hardware, take out the mirror
and
as well.
What we're going to be applying is called an aniline dye. It's a powder. This is the powder.
And it's a maple.
It's a brown maple, and I'm just taking it out on my little piece of wood here.
And you mix it with denatured alcohol.
Just a little bit.
Some water.
And here's the alcohol, and we'll put that in here. Why am I using this instead of a penetrating stain?
You will achieve maximum penetration with the wood because this is a dye.
And I'm adding a little bit of water. And it gives you a real pretty color. This will not lay on the wood like the...
rocks.
like an oil stain will. This will penetrate, just like fabric dyes penetrate fabric. And you must wear the gloves with this, too. You know, once I used the blue, and I didn't take it off, and I didn't wear gloves, and I looked like a snake.
For a week. Oh. Did you, though?
I really did.
I'll get out of this, because soon he's going to be dying right around where I am, and I don't want to die, too.
Well, I need you for the
tip.
Yeah, tip. There we go. Oh. Now, we sanded all of the edges on this.
Always sand the sharp edges on unfinished pieces.
Whoa, look at that.
That looks like the raspberry jelly that I eat some mornings. And it doesn't smell bad either.
It doesn't?
As a matter of fact, it makes me visualize what my next child will look like because I'm sniffing this. That's how weird it is. Yes, use a mask. The respirator with removable filters.
Wash your hands.
We don't because we're on TV. And if you're on TV, OSHA can't get you because you're a subcontractor or something.
See, it's nice when you have somebody to hold things for you.
Yeah. I'm the host and writer of a national television show, and this is what I get to do.
But you do chairs.
Chair after chair. I'm like the chairman of the board, and I'm just as lucid as he is too at this point.
Wait, are you faint or you're going to fall?
I need a chair. I need a chair.
See, now
we can lift it up again?
Well, I want to show how we can take some of this off
because it's too damn red.
No, it's nice.
Okay.
You can really eradicate it using a little bit of alcohol.
And it's dripping through onto my shoes now, which will also have a lovely red patina.
More towels.
Now, why is this little cheapo stamped Fleur a less vivid color than
Because
this.
this is pine, and that's made out of birch.
Ah.
It's stamped out of birch, and birch doesn't absorb the stain as well.
Doesn't take that stain real nice, Steve.
Okay, let's pick that up.
Of course, you got to get the top here, but we'll do that later.
Well, the top is going to be painted black.
This top?
Yeah.
You think I missed another meeting?
Look at this here.
Hey, color number 2, or second tone.
Look at these
We're
three
going to use the
colors.
flat black oil paint.
Well, it's not exactly flat black. See, I mixed a little salmon, some medium yellow, and a little
Black.
bit of black. See the difference?
No.
I didn't want a stark black. See that? I didn't want a stark black.
No.
I wanted something like an off color.
Or black stark. Now remember, when you're going to try something like this, the most important thing to remember is the brushes and the paint.
Or to have a buddy holding this like you want. Because I'm going to paint this underside here, and that's going to be my clamp. Which, ironically, is what they used to call him.
Because I had a very strong grip
when I met him.
when I was young. Now the black is going to be just on the edges.
Now I'm going to get all the way on this underside, underneath here.
And I can't breathe because every time I breathe, the thing goes up and down. Now, don't forget, we've sanded this piece.
We sanded the piece, and then I shellacked
It with some spray shellac.
it. And when the shellac dried, it was sanded down with some 220 paper. That gives you a smooth surface with which to work on.
I have to sneeze.
Oh,
You know, we've decided to paint this little applique, or applique,
the applique, yeah.
with the same black paint. Because we've got plenty.
You know where those paper towels are?
The paper towels? No, but here's one.
Oh, I just wanted to put them on here, because I drip any.
Where are the paper towels, Joe?
I don't know.
Gee, I wonder... Wait a minute, Joe.
Oh, gosh. See, I'm so into it, I forgot. Oh, I just love it when I have to pay. I would like to find it to go the musical.
Yeah, you know, Tommy Toon's going to be doing all the choreography for that.
He'll come through these very doors at some point.
Well, he's going to have to duck.
Yeah, we're doing an expansion.
All the coloring is done, now to seal. We're using spray shellac
Spray shellac.
on the black painted surface. Why don't we use
You
it
know
all
why?
over? I know.
Why?
Well, because if you put it on the aniline dye, which is also alcohol-based,
If you brush it on,
if you brush it on, it'll
put
one
it off.
alcohol goes to another alcohol and says, I know you, and it just pulls it all off and mingles, and you don't want that.
And in the same way, the varnish we're putting on is oil-based. And if you put that right over the oil-based paint, you may take it off.
I like to do this before the camera rolls.
Tack rag to take off the sanding dust. Because we sanded what we've spray shellac.
With very fine 600 paper.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
There's a tack rag over there.
That paper didn't even look like it sanded anything.
The handy paint thinner bucket turned into a
That's 1995 from Furniture Guys Enterprises.
send to cash, all checks to cash.
Okay.
And we got the quick dry varnish here.
And the varnish now will go
We'll
over
apply this.
over the shellac. Now remember we said varnish not over the paint, but you can varnish over the shellac, which is over the paint. Remember the spit coat
shellac,
or
yeah.
the spray shellac, which is a sealer.
Run that back.
Well, we just told them that you can't do
I
it
know
over
what
the
we just
paint.
told them, but I don't know what you just
So you make a sandwich
A sandwich?
with, see now that we've put the shellac sealer on that, now we can varnish everything.
Oh, you can see the before and after.
Oh, you know, we're big in India.
Oh, very big. Gandhi would be proud.
Colossal in Calcutta, Papo in Bombay. So, before and after, fabulous.
We applied the varnish. And now...
And now it's done. More
Could be that, too.
Could be.
And we have our buddy, the roll top.
Our buddy, the roll top, and let's pretend we're a couple of buddies and we're doing this roll top. The first thing you would do is...
Look at it and say, ah.
Oh, it's a lovely roll top, but the next thing you do is take out the drawers and number
You
them.
want to number them because if you get them out of sequence, they may not fit back in those components. So just put a 1.
Except here, every one fits in
Put
every
two.
other one. And I'm just going to take the
Put
hardware
three.
off with my lovely little knife. Hey, now Switzerland owes me money.
And a 4. See that? And what we're going to do is an old world finish, the likes of which I haven't done in the past 8 years at least, because
14 shows.
what we're going to do, we're going to shellac,
And then we're going to stain.
and then we're going to shellac,
And then we're going to stain.
and then shellac,
We're going to stain.
and then we're going to shellac, and then something different, shellac. We are applying the spit coat. Remember, 5 parts of alcohol, 1 part of 3-pound cut shellac to the roll top, because what it's doing is it's going to seal the wood. A lot of this roll top, especially the panels, are made of plywood, and plywood absorbs a lot more stain, and it makes it look a lot darker and uneven. So when you put the shellac in, or apply the shellac after it's dry, we'll sand it with some production paper, 220 paper.
Ooh, big
And
production paper.
What that'll do is we'll take it off the flat of the wood, but it will remain in the pores and thereby stain a lot more evenly.
And thereby stain.
Thereby stain.
While I do the drawers, which is what I like to do because I can pick them up, I'm doing the insides of the drawers. I'm not doing the underside or the back side, but I am doing the side sides, because when you pull these out of the drawer, you do, or the drawer hole, you will see that. So you want those sides done so they'll take a nice stain.
Hey, we're going to stain now.
Really?
Yes.
I'm leaving.
Look, we put a spit coat of shellac on here
And then we sand it lightly.
with a 120 paper. What that does is it
sanded that already.
it roughens up the surface again, but it's leaving the shellac in the pores of the wood, so you're going to get a lot more even stain.
So now we're going to mix the stain. Joe's 3 favorite colors, which
Oh, these
are
are what I used to use in the olden days.
special walnut
A walnut.
and be neat.
Well, this is a shop, you know.
Do as we say, not as we does.
There's a walnut.
Oh, we got a big desk and a red mahogany.
Red mahogany. About, what's that, about a half in there.
Half a can of that, about
About a third of red mahogany.
third of the red mahogany. And now the fabulous golden oak.
Yes.
Another third, you would say?
Yeah. And that is the stain.
And now we mix.
Like this.
If you don't have a paint stir, this is how you do it.
Well, a lot of times people get it and they scoop up all that stuff on the bottom.
But we shook it in the cans,
You don't really
which
need
is
to
when
do
you should
that.
do that. Don't mix it in the cans before you
And some stain.
pour.
And make sure you wear your gloves unless you want the nails to look all brown.
And now we're using paper towels. Yes, you could use rags. And we'll also be using
Brushes.
to get in all the corners.
I'm going to go over here,
Go over there.
over here. And we have the paper towels that I like to put right under the arm where I sometimes forget they are.
Forgets them. While I'll be
Right under
doing
there.
my little production line of drawers.
I'm going to start right with the inside here. And you don't have to really worry about this. Just get all the stain on, because it is the inside. You want to worry about the front. These edges right here are the edges that are going to be exposed. But you want some color on the inside.
And I'm using my brush to dab in the corners of the insides. And then you can spread it around with your rag. And you know, it gives your gloves a lovely brown color as well.
Now, the good thing about oil stain is it stays wet a long time. And if it does start to tag up on you, just wet a rag with some paint thinner, and you'll soften it right up, or remove it.
Again, don't worry about the backs or the bottoms, unless, of course, you are a very, very experienced compulsive.
You get in there, you get all
The kind of person who bursts into tears when one shoelace is longer than the other.
Push this around. And I'm not going to worry about wiping this off. I'm just going to let it on there.
Because there is no time.
Well, you want it to soak in. The stain has dried, and now we're going to seal it with the spit coat of orange shellac.
What's a spit coat anyway?
Oh, they all know by now. 1 part of 3-pound cut shellac right out of the can as you buy it at the hardware store, to 5 parts of alcohol.
And just a little bit of cumin.
In the stain, because once this dries, we'll sand it down and we'll apply another coat of the same stain. And this is layering and layering, and the stain will deepen, the look will deepen, and everybody
And the cost will deepen.
everybody will think it's your grandfather's. Black is dry, and we sand it down with 400 paper, and now we're going to apply the second coat of stain.
The second coat of stain.
To the wood. And I'll just go this way here. And then move down the front. Now you have more color.
While I
Deeper.
just do the drawer fronts.
Watch this here.
No need to push the tamp inside with the second amount of stain.
Yeah, the second stain job is always easier because you just have to get what's really going to be seen.
That's why I like it.
But it's easier.
Yes, easier is nice.
He's honest.
Well, I had a rough life up till now. So I vowed to make everything my motto: never run when you can walk, never walk when you can sit, and of course, never sit when you can lie down. We're staining for the third time.
This is the
third
final
and final time.
We shellacked over the last stain, and now we will drape the final stain, which is golden oak, over top. Is that dramatic enough?
Golden oak. See, we've done a mixture up until now, and again, I'm doing just the drawer fronts. Because who cares about a third coating of stain on the inside? Only those of you who may burst into tears when one shoelace is longer than the other.
He's going to make the Nebraska wood nice. But down here, on this top, you see a difference in color. Why? Too much stain was rubbed off right here. Because you got a nice brown, and then you come in.
Good help is so hard to find nowadays.
That's the first, but you know what you do? You put the stain on just like this here. Okay? Okay? And then, we'll take a little bit of 220 sandpaper. Okay? And I'm actually going to sand stain in to the wood. Uh-oh, what happened?
Nah, one of my drawers fell down. Usually I like when that happens. But you know, this final stain of golden oak, in essence, is really lightening or altering the dark brown underneath.
No, it's giving that amber sheen that we like so much.
That's the brother they don't talk about.
What is this, like every show we got to throw in a sheen joke? Huh?
Not until they come on. I want a Sheen or I want an Estevez on this show.
I want Martin on because I haven't seen him work well since Insight.
Did I just say that Badlands is one of the greatest movies ever made?
Do you remember Insight?
Yeah.
6:30 Sunday mornings. Applying a coat of quick dry varnish now on top of the last coat of shellac. What we did, remember, you saw it stain, and then after that dried, we put on a spit coat of shellac on top of that.
And sand it again.
We sanded that down, and now we're applying a varnish.
And I'm going to be doing something no one's ever done, I think, and that's apply varnish out of a paint tray. Because we ran out of buckets. I've got my little production line working. We're just doing the fronts of the drawers now.
Just remember, you can't put varnish in those little paper paint buckets you get at the paint store because those buckets are sealed with wax, and the petroleum distillant, which is in the varnish, will eat right through it, and you'll have a drippy mess.
Which is good sometimes, but not on this show.
Not at this time of day, at least.
A nice long flow of varnish.
Varnish, and you go across the top like this. You must come back and do full strokes.
To get out the bubbles.
Now, do the amber. I'm really surprised that every time I've said timbre, you've never said Jeffrey.
Well, you know, he gave me a call. And he said if we didn't stop doing that, he was going to get rip torn on my bet. And I don't want that. Because my hand talks too salty.
My favorite scenario is Marty Graham and Gary Heidnick in a scene from Marty. What do you want to do,
Go with that.
What do you want to do, Gary? I don't know. What do you want to do, Marty?
Nice to be able to work down on this stuff.
So I'm laying this on and then pulling it, pushing it. That's what you should do.
Roll top done.
Look, it works too. See, we didn't varnish it shut.
Sometimes that happens.
This is the old world finish with the repeated coatings of shellac and stain and shellac and stain and shellac and stain, the final varnish. And you can see right here the dramatic results of the before and the after.
Ooh, good and evil. And the whole rack, too, is great.
We talked about that.
Until next time,
I'm Joe
my name is Ed Feldman.
And I'm Joe L'Erario. Look, I'm using the whole rack.
Hey, it's amazing. Come on.
Let's go.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Furniture to go.